Next, singer Maggie Rogers came to Boston for a pop-up concert last week.
If you were in the search tonight, it meant you got up incredibly early.
Well, she announced the Paradise Rock Club show on social media just days in advance and sold tickets in person at the venue that day only. She also sold tickets for her October show at TD Garden in an effort to cut out sites like Ticketmaster and the scalpers wait lists and, of course, those exorbitant fees that come with it. GBH News arts and culture reporter Haley Lerner was there, and she joins me now. I imagine the vibe was amazing there.
Yeah, it's the biggest fans that you could imagine for this artist are there. When you have to show up hours and hours in the morning to get tickets, it's really going to turn out some of the most dedicated fans.
So this was kind of an unexpected move by any artist, selling the tickets on their own, kind of cutting out all the middlemen, right?
Yeah, Rogers has done it before for a previous tour that she did, where she sold some of the tickets, not all, in person. And so for these pop-up shows that were in New York, D.C., Boston and Philly, she announced just a couple days right when her latest album was coming out, she was going to do in-person shows, little small venues, and she was completely selling the tickets in person. And she even made appearances on the ticket line, made sure to say hi to fans, and it was a really cool experience for fans to gather together and celebrate their favorite artist and get a chance to see her up close too.
And this issue with all of the fees connected to buying concert or any show tickets through Ticketmaster has been around for a while now, and it looks like more and more artists are starting to speak out against it.
Yeah, it really became a problem when Live Nation, which is a venue and event management company, and Ticketmaster merged together in I think about 2010. And when that happened, it kind of became what many consider a monopoly because all the venues then feel an obligation, or in some people might consider be bullied into having all of their tickets being sold on Ticketmaster. So there are very few other options. The only other options that I could think where some concerts are potentially sold is on AXS and Eventbrite, but there are very few shows that are sold through there instead of Ticketmaster.
How did fans find out about this particular show that Maggie Rogers was selling her own tickets to?
Yeah, she just announced it on her social media that she'd be selling tickets. She said, line up, I think it was at 8 a.m. People showed up even earlier, as you can imagine, and line up to get tickets, and the people enough to fill the venue got those tickets. But even if they weren't able to get tickets for that small pop-up show, at this line, they had the opportunity to get a QR code to Ticketmaster, but a special private ticket option to buy tickets without any fees or any of those extra service charges through a specific link for her October show at TD Garden.
And I imagine folks are really excited. In fact, we have some sound from some excited fans, so let's take a listen.
I think it's so awesome, trying to stay away from the bots and everything, and seeing us in person, and it just makes you appreciate the live music instead of what they're selling.
And I think I'm just really excited to be in a room with people who are such massive fans. I've heard people waited in line to see her for ages.
Ticketmaster is so competitive, and I gotten really lucky, I feel in the past year, but I know so many people who've gotten waitlisted for so many shows, and I just think bringing this back is the most fair way to do it. I think it gives more back to the fans too.
I'm so thoughtful of Taylor Swift and when she announced her tour and how many broken-hearted fans there were when they maybe purchased fake tickets or the Ticketmaster site collapsed and things like that. Do you find that in your reporting that fans and artists would really like a different way to be able to sell tickets?
I think fans for sure would like a chance where they really can get tickets without these crazy fees. I mean, I talked about this with some fans too, because the show at Paradise Rock Club cost $25 flat. That's it. Normally, when a show might even be a cheap show, it's a $25 show, you're paying at least $50 in fees. And it's kind of just crazy how much these prices, take up so much room, and a lot of the artists don't want that happening either. People like Maggie Rogers, they want their fans to be able to come see their shows. They don't want it to be people who just pay the highest price, thousands of dollars for resale tickets. So it's in both the fans and artists' best interest.
Do you see other artists starting to do something similar that Rogers did here?
Yeah, I think pop-up shows are a trend. You know, Hozier had a pop-up show last year in Boston, and I think there's opportunities for these smaller venues and having multiple shows and multiple concerts to try to break through this. But it is really hard for artists when it comes to Ticketmaster because they control about, I think of all big venues, it's 80%, and for overall venues, they have pretty much a 70% hold on the market. So it's inevitable that things are going to happen on Ticketmaster, and Ticketmaster just has a way of going about it that there's a lot of fees, and there's also dynamic artist pricing where, you know, based on demand, the prices can go up. So it's really challenging for fans if they're not trying to spend a lot of money to see their favorite artists.
Well, what do Ticketmasters and others say about this issue?
Yeah, so Ticketmaster themselves put out a statement about a month ago saying that they are not a monopoly. People thought this was a little, you know, preventative about the DOJ, so that might be suing them in the future. But they put out a statement saying we're not a monopoly, that these prices are set by the artists and their teams. But one thing that, you know, has been pointed out is that their teams are often run by Live Nation. So because it's such a very industry that's all very tied together, those prices, it's really hard to determine whose fault is it that they're so high.
Yeah, and the fans are the ones that are sort of caught in the middle here.
Yeah.
All right. Haley Lerner, thank you so much.
Thank you.